同学们，大家晚上好。我们今天的海外院校云分享活动现在正式开始。今天呢，我们请到的是3所学校，它们分别是Fordham University 福特汉姆大学、Case Western Reserve University 凯斯西楚大学以及 Binghamton University 宾汉姆顿大学的3位招生官老师。那在今天的活动中，每所大学将有15分钟的分享时间，其中包括12分钟的演讲和3分钟的问答环节。请同学们一定记得在评论区留下你的问题，与我们的招生官互动。好，首先我们请出第一位招生官，来自 Fordham University 的 Lawrence 老师。Let's welcome Lawrence. Hey Lawrence.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I am ready. Good evening. My name is Lawrence Murray, and I am the Dean of Admissions at the Gabelli School of Business at Fordham University in New York City in the United States. I want to thank you all for taking the time to come and learn a little bit more about our graduate business programs. Next slide, please. I'm here to talk to you about our portfolio of specialized master's programs. As you can see from the slide here, we have 5 verticals. We have 3 analytics programs: applied statistics and decision-making, business analytics, marketing intelligence. We have a program in information technology. We have 2 finance programs, an MS in finance and an MS in quantitative finance, 3 management-related programs, an MS in management, an MS in media management, and an MS in strategic marketing and communications. And then we have 2 professional service programs, one in accounting and one in tax. As you can see by the little star, those are the programs that are STEM designated. So all of our programs are STEM designated except for 2, and that is the Master's of Science in Management and the Master's of Science in Strategic Marketing and Communication. So STEM designated, STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, and it allows an international, in addition to providing a depth of analytics and analytical tools embedded into an academic curriculum, it also provides international students with 2 years of an additional work authorization under the OPT work authorization. Next slide, please. So here at the Gabelli School, we believe in having a well-rounded education. So in addition to the robust industry-related curriculum that you will see in the classroom, we also provide students with a whole host of opportunities to round out their experience and their time with us. One of those is the Gabelli Leadership Certification. We've worked closely with industry partners to put together a leadership development program that helps guide students around this journey of self-leadership and self-awareness starting from orientation. This is optional, it's not required, but I'd say about 85% of the students actually take part in this. Next slide, please. We recognize that the main reason why students go to graduate business school is to get a job, an internship, and then get a job. So here is, we have a full service career development team, and the slide that you're looking at now represents the organizations that our career development team, the employees, the staff members have worked at. This is the depth of experience and their knowledge that they're bringing to the Gabelli School of Business. So as you can see here, this is a wide variety of very top-notch companies. Next slide, please. Again, we have it's a full-service career development team. Each program gets an assigned career advisor. These are the types of activities that they provide to the students. This is not exhaustive. There are a lot more than this, but here are some of the major ones. One-on-one career advising, that's sort of the foundation, the bedrock of what we do. Specialized workshops, group sessions, and seminars. We prepare students for the interview process. We have corporate information sessions and company site visits, as well as on-campus recruiting. These are still very much virtual, given where we are in the pandemic, but we are seeing a slight shift back to some in-person activities. But we're still very, as is most of the U.S. around on-campus recruiting, it's still very virtual. And then we have a series of spotlight career series, and then various opportunities to network with alumni. Next slide, please. So in terms of student outcomes, where the students go to get internships and where they land for full-time jobs, here's a sample. As you can see, it's a wide variety of industries, sectors, and company types. But very notable, these are some strong brands. Next slide, please. As I mentioned at the onset of our discussion here, we're located in Midtown New York City, Manhattan. Just this is a great visual representation of where the business school is. We've got approximately 10,000 Gabelli alumni in the New York tri-state area. That is the state of New York, the state of New Jersey, and the state of Connecticut. Those three states make up the tri-state. We've got more than 40,000 Fordham Gabelli alumni around the world, and we've got close to 200,000 Fordham University alumni around the world. So one of the things that we like to say is New York is my campus, Fordham is my school, but really the world is your campus and Fordham is your school. Next slide, please. Again, we stand firmly and behind our rigorous curriculum that is helped. We seek out advice and insight from industry organizations and industry partners to make sure that all of the curriculum is relevant and robust. And we also provide lots of opportunities for students to get involved outside of the classroom. So here's just a sample of the different types of student organizations that students can take part in. There's sort of three categories. One category is career related, so that might be Fordham Finance Society or the Management Consulting Association. One of them, we'll call them professional networking, so that might be the Black and Hispanic MBA Association, the Chinese Business Association, and then we've got some that are more special interest, and that might be something like Net Impact. Or we also have some that are sports related. So table tennis, we have a strong representation of students from Asia, and so we actually have a table tennis club. We also have a strong representation of students from Europe and South America, and so we also have a football club, or what in the U.S. we call soccer, the rest of the world calls football. So we have a reasonable expectation that students will get involved in these activities and not just simply think that their experience is going to class and studying. Next slide, please. Here are application requirements. They're pretty standard. You need to submit a resume, your transcripts. We are a GMAT and GRE optional this year. Again, we were last year as well, with the exception of one program, and that's the Master's of Science in Quantitative Finance. That program still requires either a GMAT or a GRE. And then we also still require a language competency exam. You can go on our website to see the exceptions for that. But we do accept the Toefl, the Ielts, the Pearson test with English, as well as the Duolingo English test. You provide a series of essays, recommendation letters from folks who can speak candidly about your strengths and the viability of your candidacy and your accomplishments. And then we invite viable candidates to do an admissions interview. Next slide, please. Here are the application deadlines for the fall of 2022, as well as summer 2022. We offer a wide variety of deadlines to really align with when you believe that you might be ready to submit the strongest application. A lot of questions. We get the one question often, which is one application deadline better or stronger than the other? Does it have an impact on my candidacy? Generally speaking, no. We want to make sure that you have the opportunity to put together the best application that you can for consideration by the admissions committee. International students should take note that round 4 is that priority deadline for international students, and that is to ensure that there is plenty of time for you to go through the process to secure the student visa. Next slide, please. We like to be transparent about our costs. This is all spelled out in detail, actually on our website, but here's just a quick snapshot. We charge by the credit with the exception of one specialized master's program, which is the Master's of Science in Quantitative Finance. That is a flat fee. You can go online to see what that updated flat fee is. But for the rest of our program, it is the number of credits of the program multiplied by the tuition rate. Here are some of the one-time fees and the fees that are generated each term that you're enrolled as a student. Generally speaking, our programs in comparison with our peers, our programs come in either at the median or below the median price of our private school peers. Next slide, please. We do offer scholarships to help offset the cost of the education. We offer scholarships at the top of the admissions process, as well as opportunities for students to apply for continuing student scholarships and graduate assistantships once they've enrolled in the program. And then, of course, we also partner with a few international student loan providers. Next slide, please. You can check our website for the opportunities for virtual engagement. We actually will, in the spring, depending on what the coronavirus situation is, we will actually have some opportunities to engage in person with alums and current students over the winter break, as well as in the spring term. You can see all of those opportunities on our website. Next slide, please. If you have any questions, there is our WeChat QR code. So feel free to check out our Chinese website, as well as message us and see some of our WeChat stories. And now I think we have an opportunity to answer some questions that you might have.
Right. So thank you so much for your sharing. And now we're gonna go to the Q&A session. So in the chat box, I see a student ask, "What's the weather like there?"
Well, right now we're in fall. It's just now fall. It was a little bit of a late summer. So now the temperatures are in, I'd say 15 degrees to I'd say 10 degrees to 20 degrees Celsius.
Okay, wonderful. So next question, how intensive the courses are?
Well, they're all intensive, and I would encourage you to not pursue any courses that are not intensive. So we have, as you could see, we have 10 different academic programs. They are all rigorous. They are all guided by industry insights to ensure that they're industry relevant, and they are definitely rigorous.
Great. So how do Fordham University support students, about like finding a job when they're about to graduate?
Yep. So as you can recall from a few slides ago, we have a full service career development office, and that means that each academic program is assigned a series of career advisors, and they help the program director and the students create opportunities for growth and development, professional growth and development, as well as opportunities to engage with organizations that hire students for internships as well as for full-time jobs. That being said, we are not a placement agency, so we don't place students in jobs. We provide the opportunities for growth and development and the opportunities for engagement and interaction with hiring organizations. It's actually up to the student to take advantage of those opportunities.
Understand. So next question, any chance the tuition can be cheaper if we since the classes are online due to COVID-19?
Our classes are not online. Like most of the rest of the United States, we have shifted back to in-person classes, and so we're already a lower priced option for all of our programs when you're comparing it to our peer private schools. So we're already strong return on investment because our tuition is lower.
All right, great. Thank you so much. I think that'll be all for your part today. So for students, if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to Fordham University from the contact information on the screen. All right, so now we're going to say goodbye to Lawrence. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
好的，那我们感谢 Lawrence 老师刚刚给我们带来的精彩分享。那我们现在呢，让我们马上来请出今天的第二位招生官老师，他是来自Case Western Reserve University 的 Brock 老师。Hello, Brock. Hello, Brock. Can you hear me? We don't see you. I've already invited you to the stage, but we don't see you or hear you. Okay, can you please try again and allow the camera and the microphone? All right. Sorry for the inconvenience. 好的，我们现在等待一下 Brock 老师重新进入一下平台。Hey, Brock.
Oh, it's nice to see you. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Nice to see you too. Whenever you're ready.
Wonderful. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Brock Schroeder. I serve as the Director of Admissions and Senior Recruiter at the Weatherhead School of Management, which is at Case Western Reserve University, located in Cleveland, Ohio. We can go to the next slide. And I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about our university, our School of Management, and the programs that we offer. Case Western Reserve University is located in the city of Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio is located in the United States in the Midwest. You can see on the map of the United States in the upper left corner, the state of Ohio is highlighted in red. We are specifically located in the city of Cleveland, which is along the south shore of Lake Erie. So again, we are considered to be in the Midwest or the Great Lakes region of the United States. Case Western Reserve University is just east of downtown Cleveland in an area called the University Circle. We can go to the next slide. The University Circle is a tremendous place for students to live, to work. We have significant numbers of museums. We're also home to the Cleveland Symphony. And the orchestra there is a world premiere orchestra. We're also home to the Cleveland Clinic and University Hospitals, which are world-renowned medical care facilities recognized and receiving patients from all around the world. Case Western Reserve University partners with all of these organizations to provide a wonderful setting for you to study, to live for a couple of years, to pursue jobs, internships, wonderful opportunities that are available to you. Next slide. Case Western Reserve University is actually a university that has been around since the early 1800s. It was the merger of two institutions, the Case Institute of Technology, which is now our schools of engineering and medicine and some of the natural sciences that you find both undergraduate and graduate programs there. Also, it was the Western Reserve University, of which the Social and Applied Sciences, the Weatherhead School of Management, our School of Law, all were a part of that institution. They merged in the 1950s to become Case Western Reserve University. We are a private university. We're also a research level university. So we have significant numbers of graduate students and students in doctoral programs conducting research that's traditionally grant funded. By many millions of dollars of grants that come into the university every month as throughout the year and over the years. We can go to the next slide. Case Western Reserve, as I said, is home to various schools. I've already mentioned the School of Medicine, which has a collaborative campus, a health education campus that's operated in partnership with the Cleveland Clinic. And then on the other side of the campus is our beautiful building, the Peter B. Lewis building, home to the Weatherhead School of Management. This building was designed by Frank Gehry, and you'll probably recognize some of the features of the building as it is prominent in many other famous buildings that he has designed and had built, such as the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain. We love our building, and it's a great place. We are actually all back on campus and attending classes in person, and our students are safely interacting with each other, both in the lobby spaces as well as the beautiful classrooms that we have all throughout the building. Next slide. Case Western Reserve, as well as the Weatherhead School, and then individual programs within our school participate in various ranking systems. Obviously, the most prominent would be U.S. News and World Report rankings, and you can see some of our results from the U.S. News, World Report, The Economist, Forbes, and America Economia. And you can see from U.S. News and World Report, Case Western Reserve University is the #1 university in the state of Ohio, number 42 amongst the national universities here in the United States, 18th for innovation, and 13th for the commercialization of all the research that we conduct. You can see that our MBA programs, as well as business analytics programs, supply chain management, a number of other programs participate in various ranking systems. You know, the rankings are very important. That helps you try to filter and categorize universities and sort them. But it tells a story of quality of education, the support that you receive, and the recognition that our alumni have in their work, the success in their work environment, as well as our recognition from our peers, our peer institutions. So we're very proud of our rankings. And again, we ask you to pursue and take a look at what those really mean for you. Next slide, please. The programs that I am promoting are full-time programs. They are all STEM designated. And as was mentioned earlier by the Fordham representative, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that designation allows you to add 2 years onto your OPT, or optional practical training, upon conclusion of your program. So that could give you, if you've not used OPT ever, as part of an F1 visa, that you will have. That means you can get up to 3 years work experience after graduation. And we think that's a absolutely critical part of your academic as well as your professional trajectory or your professional growth. So we have our standard Master of Business Administration. We also have our Master of Accountancy, Master of Finance, the Master of Business Analytics and Intelligence. We have a Master of Supply Chain Management. And then our brand new program for this next fall, a Master of Science in Financial Technology, or Fintech. Let's go to the next slide, and we'll take a look at these programs in detail. The Master of Business Administration is a 2-year program that is 60 credit hours in length, and we begin our intake for this program as every fall. As I mentioned, it is STEM eligible, as are all of these programs. We are test optional, and so you can waive the submission of a GMAT or GRE test score. But if you do submit those, we do like to see scores in the 75th or 85th percentile, especially in the quantitative sections of these tests. For Toefl and Ielts, you can see what we look for is so we like to see Toefl scores of 100 or better, or Ielts scores of 7.0 or better. You can see the GPAs. We like to look for students who have GPAs above 3 on a 4.0 scale. And so we encourage you to take a look at your transcript and ensure that your transcript has a cumulative GPA listed on it that allows us to do the translation into the U.S. system of grade point averages. This is the only program that requires students to have some work experience. So if you have been out of college or university for about 3 to 5 years and you've been working in a different work setting, then we encourage you to consider the MBA program. This is a great way for you to advance in your career. All of our programs that I'm going to talk about today have some form of scholarship that you can select to be considered for when you apply for admission. There's no separate application process for our scholarships. They are included as a part of your admission review. And so when you are applying for admission, you can select to be considered for scholarship, and our admission committee and our faculty directors will review you not only to be admitted to the program, but to also receive a scholarship. These programs have significant numbers of scholarships available, and I encourage you to be considered for that. There's no prerequisite undergraduate coursework required for the MBA. However, you'll see in some of the other programs, there are a few courses we do expect you to have in order to excel, especially in the area of analytics. Let's move to the next slide. Our Master of Accountancy program, as you can see, is very similar in terms of some of the admission requirements. But again, this program is only 1 year in length because it's 30 credit hours. And so most students can complete this in 2 or 3 semesters, so anywhere between 9 months to maybe a year and 4 months. This program does have intakes in both the fall and in the spring. You can see some of the other requirements for language proficiency and GPA is very similar. The Business Analytics program, again, very similar to the other programs. It's a 36 credit hour program, and there is prerequisite undergraduate coursework required. We do expect you to have calculus and linear algebra. We can go to the next slide. The Supply Chain Finance program, again, very similar to the other programs. And this program is quite flexible. Again, you can finish it in 9 months, or you can do additional electives for different certificates that are awarded and go up to 2 years. We can go to the next slide. The Fintech Program is a brand new program. And again, this one, we are looking for those with strong quantitative backgrounds in programming, statistics, and in finance courses. Next slide. The last program is our Supply Chain Management program, and you can see, again, it is a very flexible program that can last anywhere between 9 months, which is 2 semesters, or up to 2 years, depending on the electives that you may want to add on to your program. We do expect students to have some form of quantitative coursework in their undergraduate experience. Next slide, and we'll conclude on this one. I believe this is our career management. We do have great career management opportunities for you. We do placement. We help students place into internships. And if you so choose to stay here in the United States, we can assist you in being placed in full-time employment upon graduation. All right. Well, thank you very much. I think my session is over, but I want to make sure I leave time for some questions.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
So now I'm looking at the chat box, and there's a question just popped up. It says, is it easy or hard for international students to find a job there in the local area?
That's a great question. I think a lot of that depends on how much effort you put into securing the employment yourself as well. What are you doing to improve your interview skills, your first impression, prepare your resume? And we have a program, every program has a program director who can work with you. And so the effort that you put into it, I believe, translates into great results as you partner with our program director in order to get your resume in front of recruiters and then to secure an interview and employment.
Okay. Here's another question. How many Chinese students do you have there?
Yeah, we have a significant number. Our graduate programs are very popular with students from China. And so the accountancy program, about half of the students are from China. But then in our business analytics program, about 85% of the students in the program are from China. So it really varies by program, but our programs are quite popular with students from China.
Great. Another question is, when is the best time to apply?
When is the best time? So we actually, if you wouldn't mind going ahead a few slides, I have my chart that shows the application deadlines. I think it's 2 or 3 slides ahead. And you can see we are actually entering into the deadline, which is 1 week from today. If you go one more, I believe. The deadline is November 17th. And so round 1, I would encourage you to apply in either round 1 or 2, because if you apply in round 3 or round 4, you may not have enough time to complete the I-20 application to get an appointment for an F1 visa. And so I would encourage you to apply before March.
Great. Another question is, do you have any language courses for graduate students?
We do not offer language courses in the Weatherhead School of Management. However, there are English as a second language courses that the university offers. And so that's something you can pursue on your own and register for ESL classes.
Wonderful. All right. I think that'll be all for your part for today. Thank you so much. 不客气. Thank you so much for your sharing and your time. We look forward to see you again.
You too.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
好的，我们感谢来自凯斯基础大学的 Brooke 老师的精彩分享。那我们现在来邀请上我们的第3位招生官老师，他是来自 Binghamton University 的Erica 老师。好的，同学们非常抱歉，由于招生官出现了网络问题，无法参与我们今天的分享了。那我们可以通过下载老师的 PPT 来了解更多关于 Binghamton University 更多的信息。我们期待下次和同学们见面，大家晚安。